Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Just Open It, the YouTube series in which I open recently acquired toys. My name is Russ. Thank you very much for watching this. I really appreciate it. If you're a fan of action figures or toy collecting or pop culture in general, please consider subscribing to Karaoke Fanboy TV as I aspire to post at least one action figure unboxing or opening video every week, because I have a lot of toys here that I've collected in the last few years, and for one reason or another I haven't opened them until now. So I'm happy to share that process with you, my fellow toy enthusiasts. I am in the middle of a series within a series here, as I've recently acquired the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Dark Knight Returns action figures. Now, I told myself, if you've been watching this series, you know that with Todd McFarlane's acquisition of the DC license, I was only going to buy the DC Animated Universe style toys. From the Bruce Timm universe of the Batman animated series to Justice League Unlimited to Cartoon Network's Teen Titans to even the Harley Quinn action figure I picked up because I just enjoyed the look of her animated design for her series. But I am a tremendous fan of The Dark Knight Returns as a story, as a graphic novel, as a work of art. It is my favorite comic book story of all time, for many reasons that I will probably explore as I open these figures, just to kill time, really, as I'm talking and opening these figures. But here we have, in order of the anatomy of the horse that these four figures, when collected, can assemble to create the horse that Batman rides in the fourth chapter of The Dark Knight Returns. Last episode I opened the Joker. The Joker comes with the horse's head. Here is Robin, aka Carrie Kelly, that comes with the horse's body, which looks like it's in two parts here. So I'm going to be opening Carrie today, and in a future episode I will assemble the horse. So we're pretty much just focusing on the good soldier Robin here. And as I open her box, I'll tell you that what drew me initially to The Dark Knight Returns when I was a kid was this Robin on the cover of the third issue of The Dark Knight Returns. If you're familiar at all with this story and its iconography and its imagery, it's a pretty amazing image of this young female and red-headed Robin standing in front of this huge bat symbol being projected onto a wall, presumably. And that image, I saw that singular issue at like a second-hand store or something. And that image captured me. I purchased that issue. And so the third issue of The Dark Knight Returns is the first one I ever read. I didn't get the whole story until maybe even a year later when I finally had the collection published by Warner Books, not even DC Comics. But remember at the time that the graphic novel format was so new, and there was something so prestigious about the story that it was published with the Warner Books logo on the spine and the cover and so on. But I read the third issue first, in which Batman and Robin fight the Joker. So it was, in one way, a great issue to jump in on as a young reader at the time, because the conflict was familiar. But man, was the context so mature for me. I mean, I could go on and on about the subtexts and the subplots and everything that was going on in that issue. But many people have already made that commentary. There's no need for me to reiterate it here, other than to say I think that Frank Miller and Klaus Janson did this amazing thing where they were able to homage the roots of the Batman mythos while also moving it forward. They were able to do new and progressive things, like include a female Robin, Carrie Kelly, while at the same time maintaining the paradigm of Batman versus Joker. It seemed like an impossible world of the future, while at the same time it was still very much a contemporary, gritty world with Ronald Reagan as the president and David Letterman on TV and a Cold War. You have Superman throwing tanks on one page, and then you have people talking about gas prices or something on another. It was just everything my young mind was hoping comic books could be, and I found it in this story, and it made such an impact that as these action figures came out very recently, I just had to have them. And so I'm diving in now with Robin. We'll call her the Ginger Robin for The Dark Knight Returns. I mentioned with the Joker video, you know, these packages They aren't precious to me. There's very little design element here in the back other than the instructions as to how to assemble the horse. These practically pointless images of other action figures in the series. I mean, they're just so small. I don't understand why they're there. So without any reverence for the box, I'm just pulling it right out. I am extracting this as kind of a proverbial backboard for the action figure because it includes a stand, which for some of these figures you need, although with the Joker I did not. He stood very well on his own. And then this collector's card, which again I just lament doesn't include Frank Miller art, any original comic book art, and instead is just a picture of the action figure I have right here. So I don't understand that. I don't understand its inclusion at all. And I wish McFarlane Toys would kind of go back to including comic book art here. I don't know if there's maybe a reason why they can't do that. But there's the card. And let's see how they describe her origin. This will be very interesting to me here. After being saved by Batman on the night he returns from his retirement, Carrie Kelly is determined to help the Dark Knight. Spending her lunch money to purchase a Robin suit, she sets out to track down Gotham City's superhero and become his protege and crime-fighting partner. Shortly thereafter, Kelly finds Batman in the middle of a brawl with the mutant leader and successfully saves the Dark Knight from near death, proving herself capable in the role. Batman then accepts her as his newest Robin, and although he's reluctant to do so, her skills and dedication make her a worthy sidekick. I like that description way more than I liked the Joker's description. And so it also says that her real name is Carolyn Keene, Carrie Kelly. Carolyn Keene, Carrie Kelly. I don't know the roots of that, but that's her long name there. I didn't know all that, and I don't feel particularly enriched by the trivia. So I'm just going to pull out the stand in the hopes that I don't need it. Carrie does come with her slingshot, which is very cool and absolutely essential in my opinion, considering she used it when I first met her in that issue of The Dark Knight Returns #3. And it's so funny because, you know, this is her package. This is Carrie Kelly as the action figure, right? But the horse's body consumes 2/3 of this bubble. And she's just this little thing up here. So I'm going to pull her out. Now, she was the last of these 4 figures for me to find, and I found her at Walmart. I found the other guys at Target. So I had to go to quite a few stores to complete the set here with her, and I ultimately found her at a Walmart, as I explained in the Joker video. In this, so this is a just open it first. Her leg came right off here, so I'm trying to get her out of the package. Looks clean. I can see the ball joint here. I'm not freaking out just yet. And in fact, this leg was like up here anyway. It was packaged, so she was like almost... Her legs are just like spread apart there. And this is just so I could pull this elastic band out of the plastic. You know, I don't grab a knife or a pair of scissors when I do these videos, so you're experiencing these openings in the raw. And now her cape is like really in there too, so I'm just gonna... Okay. She's out. I'm going to leave the horse parts in here because I will dedicate a video at the end of this series to just extracting these parts and assembling the horse. Whew, okay. So this is my first ever Carrie Kelly Robin action figure. I know a few have come out in the past. For one reason or another, I just didn't get into buying Dark Knight Returns action figures. And I think I'm going to go back and pick up... A Mutant Leader came out not too long ago in a different series. That might have been from Mattel or DC Direct. I don't really remember. I know at least the Mutant Leader came out, and maybe a Mutant as well. But certainly there was a Batman and a Robin. I believe a Joker and a Superman as well. I could be wrong, but... Okay, so I am going to now, hopefully, easily reapply her leg. Okay, you heard that snap? It is in, so... It's interesting how action figures are assembled now, because when I was a kid and I collected Masters of the Universe toys, you guys of my age know that their legs were held in place by a rubber band that would very easily dry out, get brittle, and break. And somebody recently, in the last 10 years or so, has had the amazing innovation of selling those little rubber bands. And I did purchase them one year at PowerCon, and with some boiling water, it's not hard to repair old, mid-80s He-Man action figures that have that broken leg band with that new piece that somebody's out there either 3D printing or just making on their own. But I'm still like shell-shocked when I see a broken leg like we just did, and I wonder, like, is that broken or can I snap that back into place? So here she is, folks. And not quite as dense, of course, as the Joker. Very, very diminutive, as she should be at this point in her arc. We've seen her grow up, really, in more recent comics. But I think she will definitely need the assistance of the stand. Or not. Here we are, folks. I mean, I got to give it to the McFarlane Toys people. They're really stepping up their game as far as the balance of these figures. Now, again, I only collected the animated versions of these guys. So, like, the Bruce Timm design of the DCAU was a very top-heavy, very broad-shouldered, slender hips, slender legs, really, like Bruce Timm's superheroes. When they're drawn, like, to the extreme, really need to work on their leg day. But, and McFarlane Toys exaggerated that. Making those figures so top-heavy, they needed the stands like this. But these figures don't, and I'm grateful for that. What I'm noticing as I have her standing here in front of me is the back of her cape really looks like the cloth as Frank Miller drew it. You know, in Frank Miller's line work, there are a lot of little lines here that would help the cape kind of have this rippled or folded effect. And so you really get that here, and I like that. Her glasses feel loose and almost like they could be removed, but I'm not going to try it. There were two Carrie Kellys there, and I picked the one I felt like had the best paint application. I don't know if the camera will pick this up, but you can see that the R suffers a little bit in the paint application. Very small detail, not a big deal to me, but I did pick out the best of the two that were available. And so with that, I could see that I think this is going to fit into her hand much more easily than the Joker's knife did. And yes, indeed, her slingshot fits into her hand way better than the Joker's knife fit into his. In fact, I couldn't even get the knife in his hand during my video. But you could see that there. She's ready to fire a BB at a woman with swastika nipples, as she does in The Dark Knight Returns. So that's Carrie Kelly in a nutshell, folks. Her points of articulation are pretty standard for a modern action figure. Nothing at the waist, but shoulders, elbows, wrists, head, of course. You have not just the ankle, but then like the toe as well. You can see that there, how dramatically I did that. That's okay, I guess. I mean, I'm not wild about that. I don't need her toes to curl. But if anything, that offers a variable in standing and posing the figure that I'm not crazy about. But she did stand well enough on her own before. I'm going to now just put her on the stand so you can see her in her final glory here. And there she is, a good soldier. Oh. Even on the stand, there's some stability issues there, but that's okay. There she is. Carrie Kelly, folks. Robin from The Dark Knight Returns. Thank you very much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. 2 more to go in the series featuring the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Dark Knight Returns action figures. Tune in for the next episode when I grab Superman from this line. I look at it and I tell myself, you know what? Just open it. I'll catch you next time.